Ayubowan Vanakkam Namaste, and a very good day to everyone. My name is Vimuri Migoda, and I'm honored to serve as your host today on behalf of the International Association for Quality Education and the Ministry of Education, Uva Province, Sri Lanka. We are gathered here for the International Professional Development Program for Educators, a collaborative initiative between the International Association for Quality Education, the Ministry of Education, Uva Province, and Vijayabhumi University, India. It is both an honor and a privilege to introduce our distinguished speaker for today, Dr. Sunil Gupta, an accomplished academic and respected higher education leader. Dr. Gupta currently serves as the professor and registrar at Vijayabhumi University in Mumbai, India. He brings with him extensive experience in higher education administration, academic policy development, and institutional leadership. His unwavering commitment to fostering innovation in education and promoting student-centered learning has played a key role in shaping the academic vision of Vijayabhumi University, India's first liberal university. In addition to his administrative leadership, Dr. Gupta is widely recognized for his dedication to academic excellence, ethical leadership, and the advancement of quality education. Today, Dr. Gupta will be speaking on the topic, a touch-up of NEP and pedagogical strategies, a theme that is both timely and critical as we navigate evolving educational landscapes. Dear teachers, educators, please join me in extending a very warm welcome to Dr. Sunil Gupta. Dr. Gupta, sir, we are truly honored to have you with us on behalf of the International Association for Quality Education, the Ministry of Education, Uva Province, and all our participants. We extend our heartfelt welcome. The stage is now yours.
It was really a great introduction, and honestly, I tell you that I also feeling nostalgic because right from our childhood we had been listening something regarding Sri Lanka. I mean, if you see our mythology, we talk of Sri Lanka in our Ramayana and everything. So this is my first interaction with Sri Lankan community, and that too with the learned community. I mean, I had some experience in meeting them in some international forum. I was always impressed by their way of talking and the content and the delivery, whatever I could see. So I've just shared my screen. Is it visible to everyone? Yeah?
Yes, sir. Yes, it is visible.
Yeah. So I'm basically trying to talk on new education policy. As you could have seen that India has gone to a significant political and economical change. Today we are the fourth largest economy, and whatever transformation of the economy has taken place, I think it has rapidly changed in last 10 to 14 years, right? So the biggest issue which our educator or our student used to face globally, because for example, if a Indian student with a degree goes to Canada, or if he goes to say Australia, then they used to ask them to appear in their own exam, and if he or she is able to perform in that exam, then the degree validity was accepted. So now the question is, what was the mode earlier? I mean, principally, if you see everywhere there is a system that there is a teacher and there is a student. Now, how do we communicate with each other, and what is the learning process? So here, if you see, in when I was doing my college and school days, I think the communication was very much one way. Today, with the advent of technology, we have more visual effects and everything. So now the education system has to be transformed. So this transformation has changed place to a great extent, taking care of the micro needs of the education system as well as the macro need of education system. I just wanted to give you a small idea that how education system evolved in India. See, in 1947 we got independence. Education was right from the start was with the state government. Since we have a federal structure, so our central government has divided India into 29 states. Now, the duties and responsibilities of state and the central government are somewhat different but overlapping also. So, state is an educational issue. So, like in Sri Lanka, what I have read that the religions are basically very few in number. You have Buddhist people, you have Sinhalese people, but the religion is relative same. A small portion of Islamic population is also there. But in India, if you see, there are multiple languages, more than 100 regional languages are there. Now, somewhere this regional language is dominant, somewhere the regional knowledge is not dominant. And since both of us were ruled by Britishers, somehow the knowledge of English was somewhat adequate. But today, if you see, the biggest demand in the world for any job is of English teacher. But if an Indian or Sri Lankan applies for a job as an English teacher, then they don't accept it because they want a person with a British or English origin. So, but I personally think I have met a lot of Britishers and Americans where I feel personally that many of the Indians or Sri Lankans can speak better English. But anyway, that is the way of acceptability. So if you see, this national education policy was proposed in 2020, and Professor Kasturi Ranjan, who was earlier chairman of our ISRO, that is Indian Space Research Foundation, he formulated it, and the challenges which we had has to be understood very clearly. So that challenges I will talk a little bit later, but I want to read out a quote by John F. Kennedy that change is law of life. Those who look only into the past and present are certain to miss the future. So, since 1947, when we got independence, we adopted an education system in which government felt that it is the duty of the government to provide elementary education, secondary education, and higher education. And for first 50 years, we followed this model. Later, after 1991, when we went through the economic reforms, government policy orientation got changed. If you see today, government says that elementary education is their responsibility, secondary and higher education is not their responsibility. They will only regulate it, but they will not provide it. So since then, the privatization of education system has been practiced in India. I don't know, I don't have much idea about the Sri Lankan system, but in India, when I was a student, mostly they were government universities. Today, if you find students, there are more number of private universities. So naturally, the orientation of education has to be changed. So if you see, the traditional way of teaching was that you teach for some time, then you take examination, and maybe there is some continuous evaluation also, and by the end, if you write examination, probably whatever marks you get, your evaluation is done. So there was a story when our University Grant Commission of India had a seminar in which they invited all top professionals across the globe. And one of the professors distributed a photocopy of an essay. And he said that this essay has been written by a graduate student on this topic. And what I want that uh, every professor should evaluate it and give marks out of 50. So I think more than 150 professors evaluated it. For the same answer, the variation in the marks was the lowest was 11 and highest was 32. So what you can see, what is the significance because of learning and its outcome when the evaluation process what do you say confined. It depends on the respective situation, respective person, and respective way of looking. So in 2020, government of India said after transforming the education system where they were giving they started practicing that higher education should be privatized and elementary education it will be also privatized, but it will be a principal duty of the government to provide that. So during the program, like when I was a graduate, I was supposed to get admission in one college and study whatever is required, and whatever syllabus is prescribed. Like if you see, we are in Vijay Bhumi University, we are the first India's liberal professional university. So suppose there is a student who has taken admission in BTech. Now in BTech, there are subjects which are related to technology and science. But if you see, implementation of BTech technology is there in music field also, is there in design field also, is there in legal field also. So, if you see use of technology for a legal professional, he should know what is copyright and how copyright is evaluated. So a combination of technical knowledge and legal knowledge, or if you are into music, so a combination of technical knowledge and music, then you can understand the copyright pattern in a much better manner. So today, what we have done, that we have liberalized the education system. You are not supposed to study what is prescribed by the university, but the new education policy basically talks that it is more on learning rather than only reading. So if a BTech student is supposed to study 30 subjects in a year, so 20 he will read from the engineering field, and 10 he will read from the any open, maybe he takes up a law subject, maybe he takes up a music subject, maybe he takes up a management subject, because ultimately a BTech engineer has to go to the industry, and initially he has to perform some technical job. Then as he proceeds, he has to get into some leadership positions where the knowledge of management and its implementation is important. So today, what we have done, that we have given a total liberty to the education system, that students will read what he wants to do. Like in Harvard, if you take admission in management, because I tried once, so what I learned there, that there are some basic subjects and there are some applied subjects. Now applied subject have lot of variation, so every subject their classes are there. You can join any of the classes where you want to learn, and you will be evaluated on the learning which you opt for. So this duration has changed. Now earlier we had 10 plus 2 plus 3 system, where 3-year graduation was there. Now what we have done, that the graduation system is now 4 years. So 3 year you get basic degree, and 4th year you get a research degree. But you get admission in 4th year only if you have 75% in first 3 years in totality. Then if you do 4th year 4-year graduation, and if you pass, then you can directly get enrolled into PhD. Otherwise, if you see the traditional system, you have to go pass through undergraduate course, then postgraduate course, maybe there was something called MPhil, then you go for PhD. But here now, as per the interest of the student, as per the need of the industry, we are more focusing on the learning. So duration of learning has changed. So differently able subject have a different way of learning, and that too at the choice of the student. The in process, we are trying to improve the gross enrollment ratio. If you see, uh, today somewhere around 50% of students take admission. Sorry, the current the enrollment of the student into education is hardly 28.4%. There are significant number of students who take admission and leave the education in between. Like for example, if a student takes admission in graduation and studies for 1.5 years, and maybe because of some family circumstances or personal circumstances, he said that now I cannot continue education, I will continue with my father's business, or I will do something for the family. So, and after 3-4 years, the situation becomes normal. So what will happen? In the old system, what you have studied 3 years back is not viable. But today, in order to get the viability of that, what you have already studied, we have started an academic bank of credit. So what we maintain that whatever you study, there is a academic bank which has what you say credit system, that what you study today and after 3 years you want to continue the education, your earnings in terms of learning and credit is basically in practical passing of examination will be counted for. Now, here also we have uh, changed significantly in our teaching, pedagogy, and promotional of skill and ability to enhance and value adding sector. Like this new education policy is giving more emphasis into the vocational education. You don't need to study for a year to get a degree or diploma. Then the credit system has changed. Like what we are adopting, national credit framework is there. That like suppose there is a student who is a graduate. Now he is a sportsman also, and he has won a gold medal in national games, or he has won a gold medal in Asian Games or in Olympics. So that means his ability has been exhibited in one field, and to be a graduate you require say 120 credits. That means if one subject is of 3 credits, so you have to pass 40 exams. But if you have proved your ability and efficiency in sports, then you will be given 25 credits. And if you have proved your ability in Asian Game gold medal, then you will be given 30 credits. And if you have won a gold medal in Olympics, you will be given 35 credits. That means now a student who is into graduation, since he spent significant time of his working into sports, so his achievement into sports are taken into consideration. Now he has to pass only 5 credit subject and he will be given graduation. So similarly, recently government had started apprenticeship embedded degree program, where suppose there is an automobile engineer. Now what he will get if he reads theories and the paperwork, he has to learn more on in the shop floor or in the motor garage. So if you study basics, and when it comes to applied subject, you can definitely go to a practicing field and learn something, and we will evaluate you on your way of learning. So there is a mechanism where we take feedback from your boss to whom you are reporting, and as per his accountability, we award you credit. So we maintain academic bank of credit. Then we also have a provision of multiple entry and multiple exit, that you complete your education for 2 years, then leave, do something in business, do something in your maybe personal responsibility. Then if you want to come back, you can come back and study. And it is not that you are confined to only one college. You can study in one college, and if you don't like the faculty, if you don't like the learning system, you can shift the same to the other college also. Earlier system, that you it was transfer of from one college to other, was very tedious task. There was a provision, but it was so there are a lot of red tapeism was there, a lot of approvals were required, it was practically impossible. So here what we have done, that student, like there is a student who has studied first year in New Delhi, and later his father gets transferred to Chennai. So second year he will get shifted to Chennai, and third year if he feels that I am a person who loves sea, he can go to Goa, he can go to Rameshwaram. So the system has totally changed. Now we have a national credit framework, we have a individual preferred way of learning. Then in process we are starting research orientation. So role of a teacher is more of a facilitator. Plus, India is a country which has more than 100 languages. So we have promoted regional language as a language of learning. Now you don't need to study only in English or Hindi, which was the principle. Now you can study, I mean, there are cases where MBBS, medical education, can be undertaken in the regional language or Hindi language. Earlier it was only English, although still the struggle is there, because getting books and getting things are not so easy. Plus, in India, we have a structure that we have at central government, we have University Grant Commission, and then University Grant Commission has national assessment for accreditation. Then we have National Board of Accreditation. Then we have ranking of the institutes. Then we have for technical education, we have AICT, All India Council for Technical Education. So what is the intention of this new education policies? That government is to merge all these institutions at one place. So like if you have heard that we have reformed our taxation structure. So one nation, one tax. So we are in under new education policy, we are going to follow one nation, one policy for education. So there are reforms in accreditation process also, because see, in any poor country the corruption is issue. So what happens, accreditation is sometimes manipulated. So what quality education institution have started doing, that now they are going for international accreditation. Like in Vijay Bhumi, our management program is accredited by AACSB. So there are institutions who have accredited by AMBA also. There are institutions which are accredited by Equis also. So you have, since we are getting into globalization. So in a globalized world, you need to study what the global needs are there. You don't need to study what the local needs are there. So that sort of understanding has to be very clearly taken into consideration. So I told you what was the principle behind it. Principle was to get an education system which is more learning oriented. It is not that you study, because I did my graduation and post graduation in economics, and I remember I met an auto driver, and during informal chat I asked him that what is your education. He said I am also MA economics. And I asked him that what is your marks. He said I got 79%. So I don't know how he got. I just got 61% and found it very difficult to score that marks also. But today, after post graduating, I'm teaching for last 30 years, and he's driving auto. And so socially, economically, there is a vast difference. So we are transforming the entire education system so that it has more. And this new education system has uh, social immersion program also, where student has to show that what he has done doing for the society. So we make them learn the traditional practice system, that what was the Hindu rituals, what was the Buddhist ritual, as per your choice. Well, you can, if you are a Muslim person, what are the rituals in? So we will test you on that. So major reforms in the higher education is to give more flexibility to the students, that he is not only equipped with the basic knowledge of subject, but social knowledge of the subject also, and social knowledge in terms of practice also. Students can choose any set of subject for higher education. They can take sabbatical leave. They can have exercise any of the options they wish to have. So this entire system of this education is talking on the holistic development of the student. So to earlier, the education system was university centric, education institution centric, but now the education system is student centric. He he needs to understand what he wants to study, because today we are living in internet era, where I remember, if you talk in terms of efficiency of a human resource, naturally American human resource are more productive than us. Incidentally, I met an American, and when I was talking to him, I think during discussion, what I discovered, I have more knowledge of American history than he himself. But he was expert in his profession, so his knowledge in his profession was much better. But I mean, what is a peripheral knowledge was not much there. So by adopting a new education system, we are making it more student centric. We are making it more affordable to the student, and we are giving access. Earlier, access to education system was only classroom teaching. Now there is a summation of vocational education also. Experiential learning is also part of it. You can study online also, and availability is there. I mean, today Coursera certification is a credit course in many of the universities. So this way, Coursera has certain American contents and European contents also. So this way, we are providing diversity and inclusiveness. And when we are trying to provide diversity and inclusiveness, we are focusing totally on the quality education. And this is what the sustainable goal development goal 4 is. That after this full implementation of the education system or new education policy, now if Indian goes to Canada, his degree will be accepted neck to neck in totality. They cannot ask them to appear in their exam and justify your knowledge system. So here, by adopting this national education policy or reforming the education system, tacitly we are promoting the Indian knowledge system from the cultural point of view. Plus, we are emphasizing on the global education scenario, where you are not an Indian citizen to serve the country, you are a global citizen to serve the globe. Because lot of exploiters there. Why Indian IT industry got successful? So it is not only the education system which made it success. I mean, when we made IT policy, we government reduced the custom duty on hardware. Government gave soft loan for starting small IT institution. Government promoted more number of engineering college with more IT seats, IT contents, information technology content. So it was a comprehensive and overall conclusive attempt which resulted making India as an IT force in the world. So today what you can see, every third IT professional in the world is Indian. And even if you see the recent policies of Trump, uh, he cannot also dare to say that we don't want Indian IT professionals. Because if you see Microsoft, even what you say, NASA, they have Indian educated people. In fact, in US, most of the successful doctors are heavily I mean, Indians are large in number there. So that understanding has to be clear. Any question here? Any question from anyone? Now it is getting monotonous, so I thought, let me ask you. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you. I think
Ah,
they are listening and they'll wait until the end of the lecture and then ask some questions, maybe, sir.
okay, okay.
Yeah.
So this new education policy is basically to improve the gross enrollment ratio. I told you that today only 28% of Indian students get admitted into the school. Because school is not only the what you say, school or universities are not only the way to get educated. Like in America, there is a significant proportion of the student who never go to school, so there is something called no school. So even Harvard has certain reserved seats for the students who have opted for self learning, so that is under no school. So by diversifying the entire education system, we intend to improve the gross enrollment ratio, where we expect by 2000, what you say, 25, at least 50% gross enrollment should improve. And currently, it is 28.4%, and we intend that this gross enrollment ratio should increase to 50%. And and for that we require that we should at least be able to add 3.4 crores. You understand this crores, or there's some other unit is there? Crore word you understand? It is it a Hindi word or universal word?
So we say different words. It's
Millions, millions.
yes, in Sinhala is Kotyak, I think.
40, yeah, yeah. So it is, we intend that 35 million students should be admitted more. Plus a research part. Like in Vijay Bhumi University, we are promoting research culture. So what we are doing, that we are giving research grant to students every year. We are giving a stipend of 58,000 rupees per month for first 2 years of research admission and 78,000 rupees for next 2 years. And plus interdisciplinary approach is there, that a science student can do research in law, because what you say, if you want to understand patent, if you want to understand copyright of a music, if you want to understand multi-fiber agreement, if you want to understand agriculture measurement of support, so you need a summation of your statistical knowledge, your economics knowledge, your technical knowledge. So I mean, there are certain higher education institution, they have divided the faculty into three parts. One is teaching faculty, other is research faculty, and third is teaching and research faculty. So those who are teaching, they have to teach more number of subjects, and those who are opted for research faculty, they have to take few subjects and put more time into research, and those who are trying to have a mix of it, but although this third option is not that much encouraged. So in this entire learning system, what we have done, that we have given more flexibility to the students in terms of multiple entry and multiple exit. So what you can see here, just a minute. So the moment gross enrollment ratio increases, a student will have lot of certification, and this certification can be maybe 15 hours learning, maybe 30 hours learning. I mean, you don't have to study everything. Like in present graduation system, if you want to do honors in history, but you have to pass English examination, you have to pass basic Hindi examination. But today that is not there. You have to do a certification, and that certification will justify. So in process, we are imparting more penetrative education into the rural system, because you study in your own language, you get taught by your own people with your language. Plus we have given a distance learning approach also. So like in the previous system, if you have done any degree via distance learning, the value is not there. People used to treat you separately as an apartheid, that you are simply substandard, but not. And today, in order to improve the social environment in the society, what we have done, we are emphasizing under new education system to have adult education, because so that we can have, today why China is developing, because Chinese literacy rate is 99 point some percent, plus their accountability is better. I went to China, I was able to understand that people know their profession and they are skilled in their profession. They don't have, they don't try to, barge into other things unnecessarily. So this, if we are able to increase the gross enrollment ratio, we are improving the technological standards in education. Now, when I say technological standards, when I was a student, I studied statistics on a manual process. I used to mug up the formula and conceptually make myself clear and do the solve. But ultimately, in process, my energy was wasted in manual calculation. Today, I can do the same thing with Excel or with a software called SPSS, which is owned by IBM. So in this process, large number of data. So lot of data mining can be done by me. I can go for data analytics. So what was rare is now affordable. Plus access of the quality education in terms of application and availability is very high. So everyone gets into it. So plus we have created academic bank of credit where everyone gets opportunity to enter into education whenever they want. Anytime they can leave any, like for example, uh, if there is a petroleum dealer and today every petroleum dealer has to understand SAP or ERP. So for understanding and working in ERP, you require some, what do you call, information technology knowledge. So you can again enter into education. So that way your opportunity increases, your ability to work on a software where your visibility and transferability is better, plus employability is better. And I mean, age is not a factor. Whenever you learn, your passion of learning increases, provided that the same system is there where you can learn with a purpose, and that purpose will create passion. So what is this academic bank of credit? You study anytime, whatever you study, that credit will be there. So as per the university grant commission guidelines, that every student should have a ABC account where we will maintain a record that what he or she has studied. Maybe after, because I have seen a lot of students who have done hotel management. Later, they don't like to do continue a job in hotel management, so they want to do MBA or they want to get into technical education or legal education. So your learning, your credit of learning will be not wasted. So your acceptability will be increases, because today the system of education requires that people have multiple skills. So in multiple skills, your acceptability will be there. And if you have a standardized way of learning, then regulatory guidelines will be there to support way of learning. And plus, like today in India, many of the education system says that very few graduates are acceptable in terms of skill. So this new education policy is talking on skill enhancement. And that skill enhancement is not confined to the time when you are in studying in a college or university. You can leave the college, still your learning process continues, and you get credit for it. So if what you can see, this the thrust area of this new education policy is for holistic education, digital empowerment of education, skill development and employability. Now we have given lot of emphasis on the experiential learning. I remember I was teaching in one of the institution, and there was an insurance company who came for hire graduates for claim. So the qualification was MBA in marketing plus automobile engineering or mechanical engineering. Now these are the students were very good academically, but when the manager used to come, he or she used to ask some practical question. Now practical, since these graduates have never gone to the field, so practical aspect was missing. So what I did, I brought a mechanic from motor garage and asked him to teach our student and discuss with our students that what is the discussion when a surveyor comes to settle the claim. And the moment this knowledge was given to the student, practical knowledge was given, the selection ratio was 100%. So in this process, we have innovated a way. Plus, today you can see that India is a country of large number of startups, because we are inculcating entrepreneurship. We are developing a system where, what you say, what is that? Venture capitalists are attracted towards us. So we are talking on capacity building of teachers for quality education. Plus, there is a system of governance and autonomy to the teachers also what he wants to teach, and autonomy to the student. And plus, we have uniformly started a ranking system and accredited system. So, in this process, we are having equitable and inclusive education. It's not that, I mean, if you see first 60 years of our independence, the credit from the financial institution went to the top class industries, and that was more than 89%. That means 89% of credit created by disbursed by the financial institution we used to go to only big industries. Today we have started microfinancing. So where we created a system that if you want a loan of 2,000 rupees, 3,000 rupees, $100, you can get it. So a small vegetable vendor or food vendor will go for a small loan, not for the big loan. So in process, we are the thrust area gets success in the internationalization of education. And now I have give you some idea what was the system, what is the new education system, and why we implemented. When I talk of the challenges which are faced by the education system earlier, the question is fragmented higher education system. I told you in India, education is a state responsibility. So what happens? Every state has a different standard of education. There is no uniform standards. So like in India, there is a Kerala as a state, Tamil Nadu as a state, Andhra Pradesh as a state, or Uttar Pradesh or Rajasthan as a state. So everywhere, I mean, getting 80% in Kerala education system was very easy, but getting 60% in the Bengal education system was very difficult. So we had a very frequent, like I started my lecture by telling you that even the evaluation process was very tedious. What they were doing? I mean, there was a essay written by a graduate student and is evaluated by 150 professors, and the variation in the marks was very high. So we developed this new education policy to remove this hurdle. Then poor learning outcomes and development of cognitive skill with the students we wanted, because there was no learning outcomes. Student used to have degrees but no knowledge. So today we test the knowledge, then we give the degree. So in the other challenge was that earlier education system was rigid, inflexible. Eh? I mean, a art student cannot study a subject of science, but I have seen a student of history getting into interest into information technology, and he became an IT expert. So, so in education system was very generic. So there was no quality education. The lack of quality higher education was faced by socio-economically privileged people. I mean, certain section of society which is not financially very sound. Plus, there was no opportunity for a teacher to excel and innovate the way of teaching. He has to teach the subject which is prescribed by the university or board, and he cannot put additional knowledge, because today you see every software keeps on changing, even laptops are changing, generations are changing. Eh? So with the change cannot be adopted, because if you want to change, you need a very rigid bureaucratic approval system, which was not so easy. Plus, the earlier education system has no career management. There was no career management for the students, as well as no career management system for the faculty also. Plus, there was no research, quality research. If you see the developed countries spent 5% of their GDP earning in research, and in India it was less than 0.03%. So that is why there was suboptimal governance, and leadership quality in higher education was always questioned. And those leaders who were skilled, they used to get foreign opportunities and they used to part away because their ability to teach, their capability to be used was questioned here. So there was a poor regulatory mechanism and large number of affiliations were there. So large number of affiliations used to give lesser learning but more paperweight. So that was stopped. So what we did, we had structural changes. We had rationalized the institutional architecture. We started giving research incentive. We started recognizing a teacher who have special way of teaching. So we started National Education Technology Forum, where we invited teachers and particularly the innovative teachers who are ambitious and they have aspiration to excel. And if teacher excels, naturally they will impart quality education. So HR issues, what we did by new education policy, were we motivated. We started. I mean, today if you see why Japan got developed, because Japan developed a training system in which new learning was a continuous process. So we want our teachers to get into it. So in process, we have started a mentoring mission. So every institution today has industry mentor as well as academic mentor, and there is a holistic summation for a student that what to learn from industry people, what to learn from the academic people. So today India is a hub for a lot of edtech companies where you don't have to follow the traditional system of going to the classroom and learn. You can learn from, like you see, use of technology. I'm sitting in India in my house, in my home, and I'm teaching to people in Sri Lanka. Or if in fact I'm not teaching, but I'm imparting knowledge to my colleague teachers in Sri Lanka. So in this process, we are promoting the Indian language. I'm sure in Sri Lanka you have Sinhalese language and Tamil language and maybe some other language. I think learning should not be stopped from any respective knowledge. There should be internationalization process plus institutional collaboration. So now earlier there was a university system which used to suppose impart all education, maybe on medical issues, maybe on technological issues, maybe on legal issues. Now we are having specialized university which is imparting health science education, which is imparting legal and agriculture education. So in a way the entire learning process is becoming multidisciplinary, and policy to achieve 100% youth and adult literacy. So since we are giving now, you cannot ask a person of age of 50 to learn a new subject in a language which he doesn't speak. So now in India, if you are speaking Tamil, you will get education in Tamil. If you are speaking Malayalam, you will get education in Malayalam. Plus, government has taken a proactive role to provide soft loans for education finance. So those who are talented, they have a framework. So government wants that in coming times, education budget or public investment on education sector should reach to 6% of GDP. Now 6% of GDP is an yardstick which is followed by developed countries. Plus, India being a country which is divided into many social layers, plus so we have scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, so I mean special section of the society who are underprivileged. So these things should be taken care of. Then regulatory system. Now you can see there are four vertical to higher education. That is National Higher Education Regulatory Council, then National Accreditation Council, Higher Education Grant Council, General Education Council. So what we have done, we have managed everything in a single umbrella form. So there is nothing called specialized agency, which will do everything. Now there is a special institution. So we have developed certain professional councils like Indian Council of Agriculture Research, Veterinary Council of India, National Council of Teachers Education, or Council for Accreditation, or National Council for Vocational Education and Training. So we have started a graduate program on vocational education also. So today we are trying to develop a university not on the basis of ownership but on the quality of education. So there are quality parameters which are there. So again, it is the same thing which you can understand. All what we need, the evaluation methodology is changing, credit based options are there, the pedagogy concept is accepted. It is not only the traditional method, then specialist based versus content based. So if you want to be an automobile engineer, you are not comfortable in classroom teaching, go to the field and learn there. And the new evaluation system is as such that will evaluate on your field learning. So with this practical knowledge gives more global acceptance, and there is always process to upgrade and update yourself. So in this entire process, new education policy has inculcated mentorship, coaching and counseling in a continuous manner. And plus, we are having a very soft approach towards the relevant qualification. So we are, and for research and for PhD supervision, like I am a postgraduate in economics. Under traditional system, I can do only students of economics can do PhD under me. But today, student of commerce, student of management can also do PhD under me. So we are improving the quality content by innovating the research methods, teaching methods, and plus what we have developed is a feedback system. Now, in why US education system is more accountable, because they practice human resource accounting. It is the education system which asks the industry that what type of graduates you need, and accordingly they develop the content in the education. So that system we have already. Lot of industries in India are collaborating with the universities, and we are having more liberal universities where you need to learn with fun and you learn what you want to learn. So this entire process is creating more ambitiousness, more educationness, more variety, more acceptance, and more sustenance. So in this entire process, I think we are able to upgrade the education system, bring more relevancy into it, and with flexibility and multitasking and concurrent ability. I think I am done. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Good night.
Fly so high, I'm hypnotized. What's up is down, what's left is right. Chasing stars and holding you. I can't see the end, but we'll see it through.